And go. Yes. And the music fades. Nice. Kevin, I want to be able to set it up, though, to, like, each morning, my play out from my list to choose a different list. I don't know how to do that yet. I haven't figured that out yet. I started watching a video on lists from vMix the other day. It's a really old one, but anyway. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I really want to jump into... Not really? It's not a really good morning? Is that what you're saying, a perfect streamer? Is that what you're saying? I think it's a perfectly good morning. Perfectly good morning. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A happy Saturday morning. I am Grimskull, the super awesome pixel-pushing samurai and graphic sensei. I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I am happy to share. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for jumping in here. And we have a new person in the audience whose name happens to be Audience. Audience? What audience? I don't really have an audience. I have some friends that kind of come and hang out, you know, and think I have stuff in my brain that is worthwhile, you know, listening to. I'm humbled by that. Thank you guys. I really appreciate, you know, all of you guys that come and just kind of hang out. I'm sorry I wasn't here, Stephanie, Thursday. I apologize. I do apologize that I did not stream. Yeah, no worries, audience. You're everybody's welcome here as long as you chill, and you know. That's okay. These people aren't my friends. I pay them to be here. So, you know, I know how that is. I totally get it. You know, and sometimes friends are overrated. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I know you're my friends. I love you guys to death. Really. Well, I pay you in compliments. You look lovely today, audience. I probably could say something really inappropriate about, you know, paid friends. You know, there's like, you know, I don't know how old you are, audience. What audience? Are you 18? Because this is a kind of an 18 plus kind of show. Not really a kid show. Not really a kid show. I do cuss every once in a while. Inappropriate comments are made. Every once in a while. I'm just a warning, just a heads up warning, but all right, everybody. All right, Interfleet Broadcast is here. If you, okay, I just want to clear things up. Not just Battlestar Galactica, but any kind of retro 80s type sci-fi, right? If I should be correct on that. If you're into that stuff, if you're into the Battlestar Galactica, the Buck Rogers, the, you know, oh God. It all escapes me now. You know, those great 80s. Do you remember a show called The Ark or Ark? Ark 2 or something like that? Big yeah. So, it's audience says, I have all the years that I've been qualified for. Well, yeah, I qualified for 55 this month. So I made it to level 55 of this run through of life. Also, my good friend Kevin Michael Reed is also here, folks. Got a lot of projects going on. that I need to get on the ball to help out with, for sure. But if you would check him out, he's a very busy guy. He's a very busy guy right now in Ireland, coming back to the States soon. But very talented, very skilled. Logan's Run, Damnation. Yes, all that stuff. Yes. Yeah, my brain doesn't work as used to. I mean, what a great show. I didn't like the reboot that much, but I remember Logan's Run, both the show and the movie. Damnation Alley, man, 70s through the 90s. Go check out Interfleet. Chris Moore here, Tipsy Toaster. It's great stuff. Of course, like I was saying, I am Grimskull. Oh, you're currently in talks with a star from Alien Nation to come on the show. Ooh, the TV series, right? Yeah. How do I drink my coffee? My preferred brand right now is Folgers Black Silk. That's what I like. I like the dark roast. And a splash of creamer and about 1 teaspoon of sugar. I need to go out and get me some more of that Death Wish. Yeah, I remember the TV series, but I remember like Mandy Patinkin was the alien, right, in the movie, and then James Caan was the detective guy. But I remember the TV series. And the actor, I can't remember his name, but his face is right there, and the alien, the guy that played the alien guy. Yeah, Death Wish coffee. I love Death Wish coffee. I just need to get some. I don't go too many places now that I work from home. There's a Dollar General up the store. Yeah, I haven't tried Black Rifle yet. There's a Dollar General just up the road, so it's like that's, when I need to get stuff, I hit that, plus it's cheap. But yeah, when I was working at my former employer, because audience, I just recently dove into the full-time content creation arena. I've been a graphic designer, motion graphic artist, web designer for about 20 plus years. The last 9 or so, I worked at a local TV station doing motion graphics, print, you name it, for the store, for the station. Graphics for news broadcast. I worked in the creative services department, worked with the commercial producers, our digital department, and, promotions. So just to give you a little background of, what I used to do. And now I'm in my cave, my graphic design layer, should I call it, dojo. Since we're going with the whole, okay, and here's a little tidbit, little factoid. I was born in Japan, folks. I was made in Japan. And in fact, that you see that right there? You see the kanji right here? You see that? That actually says made in Japan. I was made in Japan. I'm a military brat. My dad did 20 years in the Air Force. They were stationed in Okinawa, which is one of these small islands off the southern end of Japan. I was there for 2 years, so I'm not fluent in Japanese. However, my my offspring is. She took about 4 years of Japanese in high school. 3 years, 4 years. Hence, you'll see not a lot of Japanese references. I use Japanese references. I'm totally culturally appropriating it because, it is the land of my birth. So I feel I'm afforded that. I'm afforded that. So I am Grimskull, the super awesome pixel pushing samurai for David Foster and Overland Geeks. David Foster is a live streaming, the original live streaming pro and influencer. You can also catch him at David Foster LSP on YouTube. And I work with him doing the Overland Geeks channel also, where he's getting into doing overlanding and minimalism. He also works with Clayton Morris and Natalie Morris doing the Morning Invest Show, which are weekday mornings. So you can catch me there in chat also. But yeah, okay. So Interfleet, threw in the graphic sensei. So we are going to call it, this is my dojo, my graphics dojo. I guess that's, I am the, yes. So there's a lot of people in my chat that frequent, Morning Invest. Steph is one of them. Yes, a lot of cultural appropriation. A lot of cultural appropriation. That's okay. That's okay. Not always a lot, but people do come back for the replay. So they'll get here. And it depends on the day. Sometimes there's quite a few people here on Sundays. And then I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays at 8 a.m. Sometimes 8 a.m. is a little early for people. I'm on Central Time, so not a lot of people in chat, but those that are in chat count. So there you go. There you go. I don't like these. I don't like that. I'm setting up something here real quick, folks. Creeply. Oh, that's kind of... Setting up something real quick. Save. There we go. Because today I was going to mess around with my my background. I'll use it as my tagline on my posts. Chris, that's what I'll do. I just want to find something real quick. Just something. Something cute. Something cute. was watching. We were watching. Anybody watch Ink Master? I have no tattoos. Who has a tattoo? Anybody have a tattoo? Who has tattoos in here? If you're willing to share. Yeah, karate chop. Most of the time I got to karate chop those ones that are terrible, right? Karate chop ones that are terrible. Nope. Is that a no to the tattoos? No tattoos. I know what we'll do. Samurai. Right. Oh, there's some cool ones. Nope to both the show and tattoos. Got it. Yeah. Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction kind of fronts that show, along with Oliver Peck and Nunez. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of Ink Master, Sam. That's 2 words, right? Ink Master. Chris Nunez. My girlfriend was watching a lot of that, so we kind of were sitting and watching it, and then I was thinking, because she has some tattoos. A few. Good morning, Wicked. I hope today finds you doing well, or at least getting by. Welcome to the show. I'm on the third watch of Reacher, dude. Wow, you really like that show. I gotta say, it is a good show. It is a good show. I do need to start watching. I need to watch it, give another watch through myself. I know nobody can see nothing at the moment. I get it. I am kind of looking for just something, just a little, a particular graphic, something that catches my eye. To kind of play off of. I don't want to go cutesy. Oh. Let's try this. Oh, that was better. Ooh, that geisha skull looks cool. She looks sexy. All right. For the sake of time, let's just not be picky. Let's just find something cool. Right. That's simple. It's kind of not grim. Download. Logos. Extract here. Laser engraved. I've looked. I've seen. I've seen some YouTube videos on people doing that. It looks very cool. All right, let's change this. Change this background. There we go. Uno momento. No, Michelle, no picture, but I post pictures in my story. How about you? I don't put pictures in my story. Let's see. It's kind of, there's like two things that I wanted to try to, get into, and that is at some point, after I get done with all the projects I'm currently working on, uh, 3D printing and the laser engraving looks kind of cool. All right, what's going on? Give me L graphic. All right. Now, what I've been working on before, here we go. Place. Save. I've been working on a kind of a Photoshop template that lets you create quick overlays for anything. If you're doing a vMix production or any kind of production in any streaming, these can work in Stream Elements, they can work in vMix, they can work in OBS. If you have Photoshop, and this is mainly for people that have Photoshop, but my plan is and was to kind of create basic overlays for folks to use, and that's weird how it glitches out. And so, using artboards, I went and created several cutouts of which there's a line around that. So did I not? Let me make sure I on that background I went to the edges. I did. I went to the edges. I may need to go in and here. All right. Yeah, there we go. Just scale it up a bit so that it. And the idea is that you know, if you have Photoshop and you can use this template to change your overlays kind of quickly and easily. I use a color fill layer. A color fill layer that has cutouts. And I put a layer style on it. And you can go in and easily change the layer style. What you do is you'll want to create your a new layer style. Right? You create a new layer style and then add what all you need to that layer style. Like right now it's just a stroke. But you can go in, like this one is yellow, so let's pick kind of some colors from our little logo there, which are more of the browns. Maybe go with some of the, look at the oranges and see if we have any kind of, there's a brownish color there. Right. Come on. I'm going to delete that one. Let's add the stroke. And then add new style. Why isn't that saving? That's son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. All right, we'll delete that one. Delete that one. I don't use that one. So. All right, there we go. It changed it on this one. So you can go in and change that stroke style to what, you know, just something that fits with your background. Let me turn the background back on. Boom. And the beauty of it is if when you're using a fill, a color fill from a shape, is that it lets you control the rounded corners. Right? It lets you do the rounded corners. So you can either drag it, you know, the little target circle there. Or if you use the properties panel and you have that color fill shape selected. A formula, I don't necessarily have a formula. I just, you know, you can go in it and do this, right? Take the rectangle. If you're on the rectangle, click once, right? Then say you're say your artboard is 1920 by 1080, which this one should be. Well, let me check. Let me double check the artboard. Yeah, these are 1920 by 1080. So these are like your standard high definition 16 by 9 artboards. But what I do is, because numbers hurt my head. I'm not a math guy. I should be, but I'm not. I'm visual. So, you know, I know the standard, 1920 by 1080 is high definition. You've got 1280 by 720. So I go in here and we'll just create a 1280 by 720, right? And as long as we hold our constraints down, right? Hold shift. If you hold shift down, it will constrain it to those proportions, right? It'll constrain it to those proportions. But you want to think like 1080 is like high def. 720 is also high def, but it's that lower resolution. There's also why don't we just do that? Let's look up (16 by 9) dimensions. Or aspect ratios, right? So yeah, common resolutions, right, in 16 by 9 or 1920 by 1080 and 1280 by 720, right? Now, of course, if you want to make things square, you're going to be 1080 by 1080. And they have photograph size and all that stuff. 16 by 9 SD was something we worked in a lot. When right before we went to good morning, Alex. Everybody welcome in our good friend Alex from the Politics Show. Why did not want to post it. It did not want to post that. It's there. Let's try that again. Oh, I put it in the wrong one. Everybody welcome Alex from the Politics Show. Go check out Alex and Danny. Now streaming on Rumble. But you can still, at least for now, catch them on YouTube. So this is what I was looking for. 864 by 480. 864 by 480 is like, that's kind of the low, that's standard definition. Standard definition 16 by 9. But yeah, I usually create like, in the dimension that I know, in the size that I know, and then I will scale up or down. Cancel. Oh, what happened? Big old rectangle. Get rid of that. But yeah, using Photoshop and your direct selection tools, you can select because all this is a color fill with shape. It's a shape layer with, you know, parts knocked out. So with the layer selected, say you want to make a double box, you can just go in here with that shape still selected and drag out whatever you want. Well, at least you're supposed to. With the direct selection tool, it keeps doing that. We're going to subtract a layer. Come back here. There we go. I'm actually, okay, let's cut that. I'm going to cut that and then select this layer and then paste it. And that pasted it into, it did not create the new layer. Good. But then with everything selected, right? Or with, you know, with the one path selected, you can then subtract, or intersect, combine. This one we want. There we go. Subtracted from that background shape. Can you do multiple strokes? Yes. Let's go back to now. We've clicked on our color fill, or you know, our layer style, which only has the stroke in it, right? And we can then add a stroke, right? You know, let's change the color. We don't want a gradient. Let's change just to regular colors. I'm going to change it to a blue. Let's turn on our background again, just so you can see it. So I've got this blue, but it's going to add it. It's going to add it to everything, right? So you got to be careful. Yes, we are in Photoshop at the moment. Now, I do have Illustrator open. And let's go in here. For you, Chris, I'm going to go into 1920 by 1080. I have a nice 1920 by 1080. You do the same thing, create you a box, right? Click once, go. We're going to go 1280, 720, right? I'm going to center it. So because you have Illustrator, right? That's, you're working with Illustrator and Photoshop, right? Have you messed with the appearance panel at all in Illustrator? Okay. Let me know if you mess with the appearance panel. I'm going to be right back. I need to fill my coffee up again. It's low. I don't have any coffee, and I feel like I want to drink some coffee. So, be right back. No worries, Michelle. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'll be right back. All right. So that's another trigger I need to put on every single scene is when I switch back from Be Right Back, that it switches it to back to the volume. I need to dive into the whole playlist and triggers on that. Okay, so we are over in Illustrator, all right? Okay. We have let me get rid of this black. Okay, we have just a panel. Get rid of that black stroke. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of the color too. And so we just have this it's hard to see. Right. There we go. Okay, we just have this red panel. We'll get rid of that in a second. Oh, switch screen. Yeah. Boop. So that's another thing I need is a plug-in. I need a plug-in that says switch. I'm on another screen. Switch screen. Speaking of switch screens, Kevin, I lost access to be able to switch David's stuff remotely. He sent me a local URL 192 dot whatever, which is not the original URL that I was sent, but that URL doesn't work. So I don't know if all that stuff was turned on. Hey, another Ryan. I just going to have to put all that into Affinity Designer and Photo. Oh, I got it. Okay. That makes sense, Kevin. You know, it's like you get stuff set up and then, hey, Tech Condo, how's it going, Petra? That is red. That is really red. We're going to get rid of that red here in a second. All right, back to Interfleet's question. All right. Look, since you have Illustrator, again, you can create these boxes. You can then go in and, you know, adjust the roundness to whatever you want, right? We'll just leave it at about there. With it selected, you can go to the appearance panel, and we can add a stroke. We're going to add a black stroke at the moment, and you can't really see it, right? Because it's just one pixel. We're gonna over exaggerate it by putting it up to like 10, right? 10 pixels, right? You can then go in and get rid of this fill, right? Boom. Now, while you're in the appearance panel, you can click on the word stroke. Stroke will let you adjust again the width or the weight, the caps if you want, you know, rounded, but or projecting. I like rounded. the corners, like if you want it rounded, right now it's on corner. I'll go to round join. We give a shout out to Tech Condo because you could check out Tech Condo on YouTube also. Great stream if you want to learn a lot about the live streaming tech. Petra does a great is a great streamer. Can learn a lot over there. Probably a lot more over there than you can from me for sure. You're not live this week, are you, Petra? I'm sad. Aw. And I like the look of that studio. Petra's got a great looking studio. Most of you, I don't even have to say. I mean, everybody knows in our community who you are, Petra. Well, there you go. Got you at least one subscriber. My work here is done. All right, so we have our black stroke here. We can also set the alignment, which I'll usually set it to the outside. Actually, I'll set it to the middle. The first one I set to the middle. Now, what you can do is you take that stroke, right? And I usually let's add a white fill in there just so that red, so that you can see. I drag that stroke down under the fill. That's okay. That's okay, Stephanie. Petra has a YouTube channel, Tech Condo, where she streams about live streaming tech, technology, and I don't know how long you've been going for, Petra. I mean, of course, I'm just a small fish in the big pond, but Petra's been going for a while. Talking about live streaming and stuff. And here, let me let me post that. Let me post your link. What is it? YouTube/Tech Condo. Feel free to plug. There you go. Streaming tech reviews, how-tos, all that kind of stuff. There, if anybody else is interested, head over to Tech Condo and give it a subscribe. The cat looks kind of. What's the cat's name, Pet? What's your cat's name, Petra? I'm looking at your header, the YouTube header, and the cat's like, "Why am I here? Why am I here?" Okay, here we go. Get back on track. All right. So we've got one stroke, a black stroke. You can either, add the stroke down here, or you can alt drag that stroke, the current stroke, to create a copy. So you can either click to add a new stroke or alt drag to create another one. We are going to make this one blue for the sake of blue. Now, it's 10 pixels, so it's 10 pixels. So, of course, you can't see it. Now, we can go in here and change the alignment so that it aligns to the outside of that, right? So now you have 2 strokes, right? You can then go in and adjust the stroke of the blue. And then we can go do the same thing, right? We can drag another stroke. Yes. And I'm going to show you an advanced thing here, Interfleet. Let's see. Let's do this. Adobe Color. Retro. All right, here we go. We're gonna. All right. Let's if we're gonna do this, let's make some cool retro colors, right? Okay, we need to increase that one. Look at there. Let's add one more. All right, now we're gonna get rid of the white. Okay. Oops. Get rid of the white. No. There we go. Come on. Why you do that? Why did that? Yeah, I didn't have it selected, so you got one thing you got to watch out for. Quick, if you're the Interfleet, pay attention now. Pay attention. One of the things you got to watch out for is like, even if you don't have this selected, your actual object selected, it'll look like it's selected. So you could be sitting here doing all kinds of things, changing colors, and you're going, why isn't it taking effect, right? Why isn't it it's because it's not selected. So if that happens, right, then make sure you go back and click and you see the bounding box is on your object, right? And then go back in and get rid of things. So here's one of the things I did. Now there's another little pro tip, right? Because each of these strokes, here's my top one, my kind of brownish stroke, right? That is centered. That is centered on those dimensions, right? This is a 1920, or this is a 1280 by 720. It's centered so that it overlaps, right? So that it will overlap whatever video or you want behind it, right? If you don't want that, if you want it pixel perfect, you have to go in and set it to align stroke to the outside. But then you've got to go in and adjust all your other, you know, strokes to however you want. All right. So now that we have this, border, right? We have a border, interfleet. I'm going to select it, and with Photoshop still open, right? Control C. We're then going to go to Photoshop. Oops, I just started Premiere. I did not mean to do that. I'm going to get rid of this. Get rid of that little box there. I am going to, click on either a folder or just, a layer. Let me shut that down. All right. All right. I'm then going to Control V paste into Photoshop. You'll see the little pop-up panel. We're going to save it. Save as a smart object. Save it as a smart object. Smart objects are your friend. Boom. And it pastes it right in the middle. Now, with this little cross, it means it's going to let you resize it. All right? It's going to let you resize it. Now, as a smart object, see, I double-clicked, it placed it. As a smart object, right, it's going to retain those editable capabilities. It is basically pasting a linked file or a sub file within Photoshop, right? If you look over at the panel here, you see where I pasted this vector. Vector smart object, right? I'm going to double click and rename that to retro border, right? So that I know what it is. You'll see these two little, like documents that have a kind of a link arrow. That means it's linking to a document. It's not linking to that Illustrator. It is not linking. Like, I can go into Illustrator now and I don't even have to save that. I can just close that, right? I'm actually going to close this too, because I've pasted a totally independent file within Photoshop. Now, what this enables you to do, right? Now that this is it, I can sit here and Control T with it, select that layer selected, Control T. I hold my Shift key down, right? Because remember, we created it in a 16:9 dimension, right? 1280. But now I can sit there, I can scale that to what I want. So say I want that border, and that. All right. And let's say I'm gonna keep this here. Let's say I then want that border on my start single. I'm going to Alt click and drag that down to start single, my start single artboard, and drop it. You see it's added it here, right? I then am going to click that, Control T, right? I'm going to hold my Shift key. I'm going to drag it so that the width of it covers my border there. All right. All right. Now here's what's going to blow your mind. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, Interfleet? All right. I'll give you a second. Everybody sit down. Get it. Take a sip. If you ever have trouble kind of finding colors to use in anything, color combinations that look good, that aren't, utter trash, you can go to color.adobe, and there are user added color palettes. There you can take a color that you like and paste it into their create. They have a create panel that has all the different kind of types of color designing. Like, you've got analogous colors, you got monochromatic, you got triad, complementary, stuff like that. Kind of, if you're not familiar with those, but you can take any color, paste it into any of the might as well show you, right? Let's show you. Right? So you find a background. You find a background that you like. Like I got that yellow background. This yellow background here, or this logo, right? This logo, right? And I can sit here and I can pick a color, double click on the color chip. I'm going to take the hexadecimal color, right? I'm then going to paste it in the middle, hit enter. And now it's giving me all the analogous colors, the shades, from the color to 2 shades lighter to the color to 2 shades darker. I can look at monochromatic. I can look at triad. I can look at the complementary colors. You have split, double split, square, compound, shades, and you can do custom too. But if you ever need like colors, complementary colors, for a color that you like, color.adobe.com is a great tool. Let's all right. Now, where was I going? So I met, we created our border with multiple strokes per Interfleet's request. All right. And then we made a copy of it, right? We made a copy of this one and added it to our start single, right? Which if you wanted to extrapolate that, you just got to drag those out, drag that out to make a copy and then add it to your other, like we could do the full cam, right? We can go retro border to our full cam, Control T. Well, let's make sure we select it, right? Control T. We can then drag that out. Of course, that's not a 16:9 box, but we can fix that at some point. You can make it, 16:9. And do a little adjusting. I don't necessarily suggest doing that because it may, distort your lines, but did a pretty good job here. So slight adjusting. Okay, so now we've got it. We've got the original and we've got two copies, right? So we're going to go back to our control panel here and say, I don't like those colors. I don't like those colors, right? I'm just not happy. They just don't represent what I'm trying to accomplish. Well, all you got to do is go back up to the control panel retro border, double click it. That's going to open it up in Illustrator again. That's going to open it up into Illustrator again. And it opens up that copy from Photoshop, right? That one copy. I can select it. I can go in and change my colors. One more. Right, and what I'm doing is I'm selecting my colors. You don't see me selecting my colors. There we go. I'm selecting my colors from Adobe Color. Oops. This is the one. So I've selected the colors from these colors down here, down here. I've then I went to the appearance panel and selected each of the strokes. I double clicked on the stroke in the tools panel and then pasted the hexadecimal because it lets you copy. It lets you copy from, from Adobe Color. Follow me so far there, Interfleet, or anybody else? Now that I've got my colors changed, say I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the width of the strokes. So, I'm going to play around with the strokes a bit, make it kind of a, go from thin to thick, right? All right. I can edit all the attributes I want here, right? I'm then going to, and if you look at the title of the file, right, it says Vector Smart Object, right? No stroking on YouTube. Yeah, that is definitely not appropriate. Some people seem to get away with it, though. Some people seem to get away with it. YouTube is a weird place. But anyway, I digress. We digress. So you can go in and play around with those attributes all you want. All you want. And then we're gonna save it and make sure you look up here and there's a little asterisk, right? There's a little asterisk. up here. You can see the asterisk by the file. That means it's not saved because we're gonna save it. All right. Now you can close it or leave it open if maybe you're not. You know, if you want to leave it open and go back and check. And boom! Look, it changed. Right? It changed. Now, if I did it right, which I think I did it right, I should be able to go over here, and it's changed here too. It's changed here on the start single, and looky there. It's changed. It's changed on everything, right? So I go and drag this to every one of these, you know, my little, you know. Now that's some advanced stuff there. And that's the same concept that I've used here with the logo, right? I've got a logo. In my logo control, I've got a logo bug. I can double click on that, right? And I put, there's with the... Thank you, Interfleet. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you haven't, folks, if you haven't, make sure you go check out come on. Oh, it's gonna I double shout out here. Go check out Interfleet Broadcast. Great channel. I'm just happy that folks are getting something out of my noggin, as muddy as it seems. So I got this logo. The logo control works the same way, right? Same thing with the background here. I can go in and I've created this control panel. I need to rework my instructions. That's the plan. There's logo control. I think I will leave this one. I'll create this one and I'm going to leave the border. This border in it, and let me change that. Let's say 16 by 9 border. Let's change it to something generic. Color control. There we go. But, you know, so we can also go in and say we do not like that. You know, we want it to be a square, right? We want it to be square. So we can go back to all of these and adjust the cap. And the corner. Don't forget the corner. Cap and corner to be straight. Cap, corner. Cap, and corner. So now they're all straight. Control S. What am I going to eat for breakfast or brunch today? Topmost fill stroke is not active. That really didn't change anything, did it? What am I going to have? I'll probably have like a breakfast burrito or something. Control S, we're going to save that. Again, if you want, then you can actually close, close Illustrator. And once again, it's changed everything to a square, That looks like it's not centered, so let's center it. There we go. And top to bottom. There we go. Excuse me. Squeeze me. VMix shows captures. Oh, what happened? Doop. All right, there we go. There he is. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it sounds okay. I might go have lunch somewhere later on this afternoon. And we can take our logo bug and then pull that down into the full cam. Oops, I meant to copy it. Make sure you hold your Alt key when you're doing that, and it makes a copy. And we'll place it in the, so each time you drag, let's say you place your logo like in your main control panel, and each time you drag it, it will place it in the same place, which makes it easy for alignment, right? Corn muffin. You know what's really filling a big stack of pancakes or waffles? I saw some pancakes the other day. They were freaking thick. Freaking thick. Freaking thick. So I wanted to show real quick. Let me save this. Oh. What? Could not save overlay graphics copy because the file cannot be found. Okay. File. Save as. I know what happened. I opened it and then moved it. Grim Productions overlay factory is no longer there, so we're going to delete that. Yes. And then we're going to go to overlays. Save. Okay. Let me go find another logo real quick. Crotter community. Hey, David, if you're watching, just in case, it is 9:12 I see he's up and posting, and he may be watching. So just, hey, David, what's up? Good morning. Hopefully by by Monday, we're a new the Beacon mic review video will be ready to go. I say Monday just to give myself a little time because I don't know. It just like I forgot to set my render up last night. All right, hold on, Interfleet. I can answer that. Well, and maybe Kevin can answer that too. Usually, all right. So with vMix, you are pointing to sources mainly, or Kevin, like when I do an input, right? Let's do a let's do a quick test. Let's do a test. All right. Start single. Well, we're going to do a test. Start single. I'm going to export that out as a PNG. All right. Test. So this is my start single. I'm going to go into vMix. Get off my screen, you bugger. All right. I guess I could stay on that screen, couldn't I? Pull V. We're going to do some Inception. Inception's going to go on here for a bit. I'm going to add input. I believe it was color transparent. Okay. We're going to name this one Overlay Test. It opened over there. Overlay Test, okay? Overlay Test. We'll go to my multi-view layer. Full cam, which is not what I want. Main cam, there we go. Main cam. So I got nothing here, main cam, right? I'm going to go up to 7. Okay, we need to add an image, right? We need to add an image. I'm going to go over to my media, add input, image. We're going to browse. That was in Grimskull Productions and my overlays and test and start single open. Okay. All right. And then we're going to go back to our overlay test. We're going to add that in 7. Oops. 7. There we go. Let's go back to our face cam. I wish they would add an undo. I really wish they would add an undo. It's annoying. It is really annoying. But I guess if you go to reset all, right? They did. Well, it didn't do it. Control Z. Control Z. I'm Control Zing. I'm Control Zing the fuck out of the Control Z. I mean, I am hitting it like a fucking, college virgin. I'm on 25. Remember, I updated to the latest beta version so I could get that save bundle. Wait, it says update available down here. Is 25 out of beta now? Or 20? Don't yell at me, Kevin. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Yeah, update available. But I had updated to the beta. All right. I will have to do that later. So frustrating. Kevin can yell at me. I don't mind Kevin yelling. Kevin keeps me on my toes. All right. See, I thought you were supposed to be able to click on a layer, right? Click on a layer up here and then be able to, adjust it. Why can't I do that? Why is that not doing it? I mean, it's just so annoying. Why can't it be just like Photoshop? I know it's not supposed to be. Edit. Reset. There we go. Edit. I wish they would introduce fine control too. Like if you hold down shift or not shift, but maybe control, that it gives you like very granular control. All right. There you go. So now we got our test, right? We got our test. There we go. We got this nice test, right? And it's linked. It's linked. I mean, we've got an image, this image, right? So let's go into our template. We're going to go into our template. I'm going to get rid of the border, the retro border. Oops. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm going to get rid of the retro border. I'm going to leave this pink purple one up, but I'm going to go to my control background. Double click. I'm going to drag in. a different texture. Nice grunge texture there. Control S. So now I've got this nice, grungy gray tape. Oh, sorry. I dragged in this nice grungy texture there. Where's my VMix? I can't see VMix because it's over here. All right. There we go. So I dragged in this nice grungy texture. I want to put in a different logo. So we're going to go and go up to the logo control. We're going to double click on that smart object. I'm just going to turn that one off. Let me go to my live assets. There we go. Can't see what. Okay, yeah, we fixed that. Switch overlays, showdown elements, Grim Showdown logos. I'm gonna pick a just pick something that's not. Turn that one back on just to give me a size. I'm gonna Control S to save it. Go back over to my. There it is. I've got a new, and that switched it everywhere. All right. I'll save that just to make sure. I'm going to go to my artboard. Now remember, you can say you get everything set where all your borders are done, you got your colors in, you got your logos set up, you've got any other elements on your background that you want on all of your, on all of your. I was testing out neon stuff over there. On all of your scenes, you can select and then right click individually, or you can shift select and then right click and export, and it will export them all out at the same time. That's how I do it, because if you go up here to Control Alt S and try to export it, it exports, it sits there and looks at everything as just one giant thing, and look at it, it's taking forever to open. And that's not what you want to do. Do not use Save for Web. What did I just say, Interfleet? What did I just say? What did I say not to do? Right? Because if you do Save for Web, it sits here and opens up and saves it all as one flat file. That is not what you want to do. So I'm going to cancel that. You want to, select the one you want to export, and then with it highlighted, right click, quick export as PNG. Now you can go export as, right? And it will sit there and give you other options, but you can mess with that later. But the best way to export it quickly and with its transparency is right click, export, quick export as PNG, right? And say you put an element on your control panel, right? Say I decide that I want to use this blue logo as a an element of some sort. I can drag it over to my control panel. What happened? Where'd it go? Make sure you've selected it. And it will drop it, right? Blue skull logo. I'm going to set the opacity down to low. All right. So now I've got this element, right? Because I dragged it in. I actually dragged it in. Let's do that. Okay, all right. Disregard that. I'm going to double click and open it, right? I'm going to open it, open this file. I can either select all, Control A, select all. Hey, our first one of the day. Yo, Interfleet. How are you today, sir? Hope things are going well, folks. Again, good friend of the show. Nova Charter. Did I say Interfleet? Did I say Yo Interfleet? I am. Yo, Nova Charter. That's what I meant to say. Not enough coffee. Go check out Nova Charter. Another great streamer in the realm of sci-fi, particularly Star Trek. If you want to get down into the niches, go check out my friend Nova Charter. Yeah, Russian bot. On Twitch. Great variety streamer over there. Also has a podcast, the Starfleet Escape Pod, right? Starfleet Escape Pod. Very nifty use of that name, Starfleet Escape Pod. I like that. And his lovely wife Ash, who does a cooking stream. And they play a variety of games too. All right, so back to Photoshop. You get Control A and then go over to what you want to paste it into. Make sure it's selected. Control V, paste. Come on, Control V. All right, select a layer. That might help. A layer that's actually visible. What is going on? Posted it right down there. Gosh dang it. All right, delete. Control A. Control C, right? Copy. Select it with Control A. Control C copies it. Select a layer. In the artboard you want to, if you want to paste it, and then Control V paste. There we go. All right. So and look, if you look at it, it pasted it as a layer and not as a smart object, right? But we want this to be a smart object. But I am going to adjust it, right? I'm going to adjust it to how I want it. All right. I want it kind of ghosted. All right. So now I've got it how I want it. I'm going to right click the layer, then create a smart object. if I wanted to really be nifty, right, I could cut it, right? Control X, come on. Well, let's try it. We will copy it. Let's copy. What just copied? Where'd you go? All right. Control T. Okay. T. We're going to Control X or Control C. We're going to copy it. I am going to actually go to the background, right? And then I'm going to paste it in the background. I don't want to crop it. Paste it in the background. Well, you can't. I was just showing you a few different ways of doing that, right? It's still a smart object. You know, you can drag it. You can drag files from like when the file explorer, right? Let me kind of. I've got Bridge open. Bridge open. And you could see all my logos. I can drag it. You can do the same thing with File Explorer, right? Which here's File Explorer. Go down to my Twitch overlays, my elements, my logos. Actually, like I'm in File Explorer, so I am going to go to that background, right? Here's our background layer. I am going to drag an element from File Explorer. It will create it as a smart object. Right? It created that as a smart object. Logo. I'm going to change that. And when I save it, it makes it part of the main background. Now, we're looking at some ghosting there because I had pulled that logo in, and we don't need that, right? So anything you add to the background will add it to this background. But, again, maybe I don't want that, that element. This element in the background. I want to be able to adjust it individually. I'm just going to hide it. There's just like a few ways to do that, right? There are many roads to get to where you want to go. Because now I can adjust this, and we want to maybe put it up in the corner. We're going to call this Ghost Skull. I can then, again, drag that element down to the single. Now, there's an advantage of putting it in the background because then it will be covered up, right? It will not bleed over into other areas. But like I said, maybe I want to take that element and then move it around on these other screens, right? Makes sense? Few different ways to do the same thing. The point I'm trying to make is that if you have an element that you're going to use multiple times, right, on things, you can either put it in the background or make it a single element and then copy it to the other. That way, when I go in to say maybe I'm not wanting that skull to be the blue skull, I can go in and pull in a pink skull. Save it. Now I have this pink skull. Right? Let's go back to the blue one. Let's save it. And not yet. Here's what. Then that's what we're. This is what I'm about to do. Too bad you can't just save the group artboards and make it work. That yeah, pull it into photo. I don't know. I haven't tested. I have not tested using. I don't know that you can use native Photoshop files, right? Even if that was the case, right? Say it could use, because in After Effects and Premiere you can use Photoshop files in your projects, and when you change the Photoshop file, it is then updated. The update is reflected in your project. But then you would have to take all of these and create, you know, that's a whole different other kind of I guess workflow, right? Because really this workflow that I'm doing is really meant to do kind of simple overlays that you can then import in. So let's try that though, Interfleet. We're going to go, we've made our changes. We've made our changes. We're going to go to the start single. We're going to export it as a PNG. We're going to overwrite our previous one. Right? So if you can, as you can see, as you can see in the bridge down here, we have a new file. I'm going to pull over. We're going to, okay, and look here at start single. That answers the question for you, Interfleet. If you change that linked file, it will update it in vMix. Remember, because that background used to be yellow and it had that retro border and that Skull Samurai logo on it, right? So if you replace that file, if you update that file, override it with the new design that it's linked to, it will update it in vMix. You got that, Kevin? It does over. Now all of this, it's all changed. The key here is, you're gonna, you got to make sure that you have your file name, you save over the file names. I would create, you know, of course, backups. Like say you do design and use it, I would then take that folder and back it up, create a copy of it in case you ever wanted to go back. That's kind of cool. I like the way that works, right? We like that. Yeah, that was well worth the money. So yeah, just make sure that you're, you know, when you do your inputs, your graphics inputs, right? And as long as you have a template, right, as your template, we have one. I thought I had one. Oops. Not on this one. I don't have a 3-person on this one. There is a 3-person. Let me close this. Let me look for another one of the, I got another template. Let me look. Maybe I don't have one that has the 3 in it. But that would, yes. Yeah, let's show Kevin. So Kevin, here's the, yeah, what you're seeing now is all I did was update my Photoshop file. Right. So I updated my Photoshop file from that yellowish color, changed the logo. I hid the border and I exported the start single and just overwrote. I just overwrote the my test file that I had saved. I overwrote the start single, and then when I went back to vMix, then all of this was changed. It changed it from the yellow. So as long as you're using you're overwriting the file that it's linked to, it'll change it. It'll update it. So the answer is yeah. Do you know if it does? I'm going to test something too. Control save. Save as. Test. Test. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Duo. Okay. Say duo. Give me a second. Delete that. I'm going to delete this artboard. All right, and this, then I'm going to ungroup that artboard. Okay. That is not a, okay, let's see. Canvas needs to be 1920. 1920 by 10. Okay. By 1080. Proceed. Okay. Background and color fill to canvas. Okay. Now I've saved this to a totally new file. I don't think it takes, and I don't think vMix takes Adobe. And since it's a new file, any of these linked files are all, what do you call it? Any of the linked smart object are only exclusive to this one Photoshop file. In other words, if I go back and I open up this overlay, right? If I open up my big overlay graphic, if I go here, oops, and say I do want to take, I don't know why that's not cutting it out of. If I open up the background, that background is exclusive to my test file and not my big overlay graphics file. So, you know, I could go here and turn off that background and save it. And it does not change my overlay graphics copy file at all. But it does, you know, it does my, so when you are creating these, you can make copies of that template file and then totally customize it and save it, and it won't affect any other copies of it. That makes sense. All right. I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to turn the big logo on there and save. I'm going to close that other file so it doesn't confuse. All right, so now I'm going to go and Ghost Skull I'm going to get rid of. All right. So, all right. So this is a Photoshop file. Overlay test. What is up, Hans? How are you doing? No problem, man. Get you some sleep. All right. We are going to go. Okay, we're on this overlay test. Let's go back to. I don't think this is going to work. I think Photoshop files do not. Yeah, it just as JPEG, PNG, and BMP files. So there's no, you cannot do Photoshop files, it looks like, right? Cannot do it. Even if that were the case, you would have to go into each file and update stuff. No. A smart object is basically a smart object is basically a smart object can be a vector. It can be a vector and a bitmap files. You can create a smart object out of any layer or group of elements within the Photoshop layers. I'll show you that here in a second. Yeah. All right. So yeah. However, if you go back and watch Ryan earlier, where I took an Illustrator file, right? I took an Illustrator file, which is this border right here, and I copied it from Illustrator, and it created a smart object. I pasted it as a smart object. You see, it's selected over here. I've selected it. I can double click on it and it will open up Illustrator. And with Illustrator open, I can then make changes to this file. See, it says vector smart object because it's a vector smart object. I can make changes to it. You know, let's say we just want that one blue border. Save it. I can close it and Illustrator, and then it will update it in Photoshop, in that Photoshop file. You can also have bitmapped smart objects, right? So my logo right here, this logo bug is a smart object. You can tell if it's a smart object because you have these two documents and a kind of a link arrow. I can double click on that and that opens up the bitmap. It changes it to a Photoshop file. Yeah, that's something I need to delve into myself, Interfleet, is using the title designer for overlays with Photoshop files. Maybe we'll look at that tomorrow. How about that? Does that answer your question, Ryan? Did I make sense out of that for you? Because I can change. This is the bitmap Photoshop file. I can change it and then save it, and it will then change that logo wherever you have that smart object. These are all copies of the smart object. There's our retro border. I mean, it changed that border everywhere. Now, one of the things we got to kind of pay attention to, though, Interfleet, is resources, right? How many resources we are pulling in to our scenes. The best way to save on, you know, your computer's resources, to make sure everything is compact and flat. No, well, vMix is built for that. You should be able to just like create a lower third title, you know, a lower third graphic, and then use instances of that same lower third and just change the text. I mean, that's the way it's done in broadcast news. You create basically an instance of that graphic that's its own, that you can change the text on. And then if you wanted to change the graphics for that, right? If you wanted to change the graphics for that, you just change the main, you know, your base instance, which would change the graphics for all of it, you know? Yeah, Kevin's got some great knowledge about that. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for Kevin to get back to the States. And Kevin, I mean, I'm here to help you with, you know, whatever, creating some of these videos for that, you know, if you need help. Right. So let's say like well, basically like my full cam, right? Here's my full cam. It's my full cam, but I'm going to go back to here, right? Okay. But my full cam scene, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, right? I've got like 4 layers. We have I don't think we have Waffle House, Steph. I think we've got IHOP. So yeah, Kevin is a wealth of resource on that sort of stuff. All right, so for each of your scenes, you want to have as little in here as possible, right? You know, each scene needs to be as flat as possible. Oh, I've had Waffle House waffles, definitely, Steph. It's been a while, but all right, folks. Any other questions? Anybody got any questions for me? Thanks for joining me today. It is 10 o'clock, which means I need to get off here so that other people can get their household stuff done. So we need to get David to add some, or Kevin or somebody to add some rooms over there at the creator community, so that we can like, you know, discuss this sort of stuff, you know, when we're not on stream. Or you can go to there are various places you can go. It's 12 p.m. Wow. At noon, 12 p.m. noon. Got it. Yeah, I'm hungry. I am definitely hungry. I am definitely hungry. Let me get that mess off the screen. Okay. Folks, again, I really appreciate everybody joining me today. Oh, wait, they're in the UPS system somewhere. Okay. Yes, they do. Bitmap images, if you scale them up, will get pixelated. Yes, because bitmap images are made up of little pixels, right? Little pixels, tiny points of colors. So if you take a let's just say a 300 by 300 pixel image, right? 300 by 300, and then you try to expand that up to like 1300 by 1300, it has to add information. GT Title Designer has vector, but you can use bitmap images in it also, right? I mean, you can use a variety of formats, but the shapes in it are the shape elements in it are vector based, but you can add bitmap images, you know, import them into the Title Designer also. Yeah, we need to create some. I don't know, Kevin. It's up to you if you want to invite them over to your community, or if we want to steer people to the creator community. Of course, I've got a Gilded also, but we're not there much. Yeah, let's we'll play around with GT Title Designer. I need to get back into that myself. And how to create, nice looks and feels for graphics. So, all right, folks. Again, appreciate everybody coming, and thanks again, Interfleet, for the support there, and everybody's support by just showing up and hanging out with me and listening to my ramblings. I hope you got something out of today, and if you did, like I said, you can buy me a sushi. That's how content creators, if you find things of value and you want to support your creator, and it helps me to keep creating content for this channel, you're going to buy me a sushi. It's not required, but it is appreciated. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Imperfect streamer, sometimes I am kind of boring. So, all right, folks, I'm going to cut out. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun, relax, do something productive if you need to. Like I said, I'm going to kind of take a break and then work on a few things. So, peace out, everybody.